You know, this might be a bit of a hot take, but servers, waitresses, and waiters specifically are some of the most entitled people in America. Now, this isn't to say every single individual waiter or waitress out there is entitled in this way, but when a business or when a server demands a specific percentage of the bill, saying things like this is the only acceptable amount for a tip, you, my friend, are in fact entitled. Check this sign out right quick.
We don't pay our staff to smile at you. Service charges are not tips. Tip well or get out. Our people work damn hard. Show some respect. Your bill $165, waiter salary $213 an hour, tip 25%. Should be $41.25 total. The least you can do $209.65. If you can't afford to tip properly, you can't afford to dine here. Seriously, don't be cheap. It's embarrassing. Thank you.
Now, I don't know if that's actually a sign posted out in front of a real restaurant, but it almost certainly is. And even if it isn't, we all know that this sentiment is not imagined by me. This is, in fact, something that we hear from servers on the internet all the time. If you can't afford to tip this much, you can't afford to eat here. All right, fair enough. Let's do some real quick, simple fucking math. And I'm like, all right, if that's how you really feel, let me tell you how I feel about the situation. You, as a server, don't deserve $41 an hour. And you could say, oh, that probably took an hour and a half to wait on that table. Maybe they were there for 2 hours, let's say. Okay, so with your hourly wage, you're still making very simple math, about $22 an hour, 21 and some change maybe. That's about what an average worker in an industrial manufacturer makes, busting their ass in hot, unclimate-controlled factories, swinging 3-pound sledges, working hot welders, getting injured, getting filthy. But you deserve as much as them at very least, and probably in your mind more, because let's be honest, have you yourself as a viewer ever been to a restaurant that actually has a server, an individual server for every single table? Say they've got 20 tables. Have you ever been to a restaurant that has 20 servers? No, those servers are usually waiting on multiple tables, at least when it's busy. So let's go ahead and take this little example. Let's say an average of $150 tip. So we're looking at, I don't know, 30 some dollars. You wait on 2 tables in the hour. You're talking 60 plus $70 an hour for your labor. What in your mind thinks you are worth that? You are of the most replaceable people in America. I mean, you can find people that barely speak English that can still serve quite well, as long as they can understand what it is the customer is asking for, and as long as they are on the spot with a good attitude, they can do your job just as well as you can. Please tell me what in your mind as a server thinks that you are owed, entitled in any way, shape, or form, the kind of money made by people that went to college for real careers, IT work, doctors, things of that nature. What in your mind thinks that you should be paid an equivalent wage to people that have put in all of that work when you had to put in next to none to get the job and perform the job that you are performing? And when you really think about it, they actually get more benefit than that, because if that tip is paid in cash, they don't technically have to report it to the IRS. They can report $5, let's say, instead of 40 and get taxed on that 5 as opposed to that 40. I'm not suggesting anyone do this. What I'm telling you is that I know for a fact that every server I have ever known in my life does this exact thing. So they're lying to the government to keep more of that money that is already at a wage similar to or beyond that of most regular, everyday working Americans. I mean, I want you to think about this. $41 an hour. If you only do 3 tables, you're looking at $120, $130 for 3 hours of work, and you're complaining. If you don't like it, why don't you take your happy ass over to some factory for $19, $20 an hour and then work 10 hours to make $60 more than you did in that 3 hours and get taxed more? Think about that. Because I can guarantee you that most regular Americans that work a normal ass job, that's what they think about when they see people like you in the service industry demanding all of this money simply for bringing them food with a good attitude. Get over yourself. Seriously, if you don't like it, don't get me wrong. I understand that restaurants have an ebb and flow throughout the week and throughout the day, and that certain shifts and certain days will make more money than other shifts and other days. I get that. But if you don't like that situation, if you feel that it's not reliable enough, you can, again, take your happy ass over to some manufacturer and you can work 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week to make what you would make in about 25, 30 at the sort of tipping rate that you're talking about, at the sort of prices that you're talking about. And I realize that servers in, smaller towns where things are cheaper, the bills are going to be less, the percentage, the actual dollar amount of the percentage of the bill is going to be less. But again, their cost of living is reduced from that of one in the city. I assume that this signage here was posted in a larger population center with a moderately high cost of living. Fair enough. If you don't like your situation, if $25 an hour isn't enough for you to do the simplest fucking job on earth, take your ass over, get a real consistent job, and sweat and hurt and suffer with the rest of us. You can miss me with this. You need to pay all this extra money on top of your bill to support my lifestyle, my being the waiter, because you don't want to go work a real job, because you want to keep extra spare time open to do the things that you actually want to do. Like, hey, I could go get a server job. I could go get a bartender job and survive off of tips and a menial wage. But it's not consistent enough. It's good money when it's good money, and it's not good money sometimes. It's not consistent. But that's the choice that you made. Take your happy ass out there and get a real job. It's that simple. You sit here and talk about, I deserve $41 fucking dollars for a single table that maybe took you 2 hours. And again, we all know that you're probably servicing multiple tables. So let's say 3 tables over 2 fucking hours. Well, you're making the daily wage of somebody that's busting their ass for $10 an hour. You're providing a comfort service. You're providing something extra and unnecessary. The people that actually maintain and sustain our society, the electrical workers, the dudes out there building this, that, and every other thing to keep this world running, making $19 to $30 an hour. You think you deserve more money than them? Are you fucking serious?